Goeiedag allemaal. Good day everyone. This is Jimmy Chai from the Netherlands, welcoming you to my channel. As this is a Christmas special, I have a very nice surprise for you at the end of this video. About 2 weeks before Christmas, London and Paris were covered with a blanket of snow, a pre-Christmas winter wonderland. Here in Holland, we had our massive snow way back in spring of this year, 2022. This is the front and the back of my house. A dash through my personal history. I was born in Singapore, lived in the tropics for 25 years, before furthering my studies in Sheffield and working in London. In 1980, I emigrated to Holland to start my bonsai career. Even though I am a Dutch citizen, my heart and soul will always remain Singaporean. And Singaporeans love to enjoy their spicy fast food. Over here in Holland, I'm very happy to share with you my most exciting discovery. Frozen prata, imported from Singapore. It is a quick and easy way to cook an authentic fast food in my kitchen. A mouth-watering crispy Indian pancake eaten with spicy leftover curry. In a future video, I shall show you how to start 3 favorite Singapore meals from packages which I can buy in Holland. Living in a Dutch village, my main hobbies are cooking and gardening. But I also watch a lot of YouTube, mainly as a source of education, but also for entertainment. On this channel, I shall share my Dutch lifestyle with all aspects of my Asian background. In addition to that, I will state my subjective views when discussing controversial topics like politics, religion, and sexuality, just to name a few. Hoorah to you and me! We survived a nasty pandemic, enduring 2 years of staying safe from an invisible COVID-19, plus the inconvenience and hardship of lockdowns. For some, life will never be the same again. Fortunately for others, we cherish and embrace normality, like the chance to travel. These jubilant scenes are from the 2022 Amsterdam Gay Pride. The pandemic is not over, so please stay safe. I had been planning a grand 70th birthday party in Bali, but it was cancelled last year because of Delta. Then I had to wait till April this year to go to the Isle of Gods without quarantine. We stayed in beautiful but cheap 5-star hotels. A few years ago, I discovered a lost paradise called Nusa Penida, about half an hour fast boat from mainland Bali. We stayed in 2 beachfront hotels. swam with manta rays of stunning rocky coasts. There are no traffic lights in paradise. This was laid-back Bali 50 years ago. Breaking news from Singapore. The government of Singapore will repeal 377A. What is 377A? To put it in a nutshell, 377A is a penal code left behind in all former British colonies criminalizing sodomy. For the first time in my life, I watched 20 members of parliament debating this controversial issue for 2 days in the Parliament of Singapore. The Prime Minister had initiated this repeal after warning Singaporeans that the colonial law would be struck down because it is unconstitutional to discriminate a minority of the island state. It was repealed in Hong Kong 30 years ago and in India in 2017. The Prime Minister's brother and gay son are ardent supporters of Pink Dot. Without going into details, the majority of MPs agreed that since 377A is difficult to police between consenting adult males in private, it will be repealed. However, to placate concerns of religious institutions and conservatives, the definition of heterosexual marriage will be enshrined in the Constitution so that homosexuals can never demand the legalization of gay marriage. Congratulations to Pink Dot. Breaking news from Malaysia. After being convicted and jailed twice for sodomy under 377A, Anwar Ibrahim finally became the Prime Minister of Malaysia on 24th of November 2022. His political opponents almost destroyed Anwar's political career with a colonial penal code inherited by all former British colonies. Breaking news from Holland. Our Dutch Prime Minister recently announced that our next monarch could be Queen of the Netherlands even if she marries a woman. The statement came out of the blue and with consent of the royal family. Perhaps our king wished to inform his subjects that his daughter, Amalia, is a pot. This is Dutch for lesbian. The news did not cause any commotion in this liberal country. She is on the left of this photo. Our 55-year-old Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, is still not married, has no girlfriend or boyfriend. Quite unusual for a head of state. But the Dutch are not bothered because it is his personal choice. What we are more concerned about is the cost of living. The Russian invasion of sovereign Ukraine has resulted in rampant inflation. Electricity and gas has gone up 300%, so we have to save energy by reducing the thermostat from 21 to 19 degrees Celsius in my home. I wash my hands and bum with cold water after using the toilets. When shopping, I search for the best bargains. We stop dining at restaurants or buy takeaways. Hardly use the car, so we cycle more, which is good for our health. As the temperature drops to -10 every morning in the second week of December, ice skaters start to dream of organizing the Elfstedentocht. It is a marathon competition skating through 11 towns in the northern province of Friesland. The English love their cup of tea. Most Dutch prefer coffee. Over here, the national Dutch meal in winter is called erwtensoep. To ward off the cold, a bowl of hearty potato and peanut porridge with smoked sausage is eaten with buttered rye roggebrood bread topped with a slice of smoked bacon called kattenspek. The Dutch love to cycle, especially in the Tour de France. Nearly every home has a bicycle, even though Holland has the highest ownership of cars per head of population in Europe. So it is not surprising that generations of training have resulted in Holland producing the tallest man in the world. It is not uncommon to see young chaps standing out above 2 meters. Breaking news from Sri Lanka. Except for Singapore, corruption is endemic in nearly all Southeast Asian countries. In February, Sri Lanka was declared bankrupt. The thieving Rajapaksa ruling family ruined the country's economy in just 10 years. To escape the wrath of the people, the ex-president escaped to Singapore and Phuket. The poor locals have to rebuild their lives by appealing to tourists to visit their beautiful Buddhist island. Sri Lankans are very friendly and hospitable. In 2019, Johan and I stayed at Hilltops, a lovely tranquil residence. Our fabulous memories were waking up to the call of wild peacocks in a lush valley filled with coconut palms, dining on seafood cuisine perfectly cooked by Chef Rabi. Just down the hill are the gorgeous beaches of Gaul, where the Dutch built a bastion. And a few hours by bus is historic Kandy, a timeless sanctuary where monks perform sacred rituals. As a seasoned traveller of 50 years, I highly recommend visitors to stay at Hilltops. We'll include the link in this YouTube. Breaking news from USA. The January 6 committee has referred Donald Trump to the Justice Department to face criminal charges, accusing the former president of fomenting an insurrection and conspiring against the government over his attempt to subvert the outcome of the 2020 election and the bloody attack on the US Capitol. The Attorney General had to appoint a special counsel to investigate the thefts of thousands of highly classified documents from the White House. However, the most damning evidence in his effort to steal votes in the Georgia elections was his post-election call to Georgia's Republican State Secretary of State. Trump told him to find 11,780 votes to overturn the Georgia results. In addition to all these extremely serious offenses, the Trump organization is facing numerous financial, criminal, and civil prosecutions. Last but not least, the Supreme Court has permitted Congress to investigate another can of worms, his tax returns. The world is constantly reminded by the United States Department of Justice, no one is above the law. There is a mountain of evidence to convict the nasty moron in all his major crimes. So I don't understand why he is not in jail. In this first video, I shall take you on a tour of our 12th century medieval city of Den Bosch. The city centre is dominated by a Gothic cathedral. I went in to visit the Christmas manger. Adjacent to the St. Jan is our weekly market, less crowded in winter because of the cold. In the middle of this square is the statue of Jeronimus Bosch, the icon and patron of our Catholic city. His religious paintings depict morbid, demonic creatures which would punish sinners in hell. One of his sculptured artwork can be found rising above a lovely canal. The rest of his paintings are exhibited in a nearby museum. Some people may not be aware that the Dutch and Flemish Belgians actually exchanged gifts on December the 5th and not at Christmas. In every town, kids wait excitedly for the arrival of Saint Nicholas on a white horse by boat from Spain. Families get together to exchange poems and sing traditional songs. Feast on amandel stuff, a pastry filled with almond paste, and other goodies. Many years ago, I was started up as Black Peter to assist Santa Claus at the Long Yan Club party for lonely foreign gays. My first culture shock was at a fast food stall. I wanted to get a hamburger, so I pointed to a raw mince patty. The Dutchman slapped the meat into a bun and was about to hand it to me when I asked him, "Aren't you going to fry it first?" His reaction was, "In Holland, we eat broodje tartare raw." Then when I ordered a portion of potato chips, he asked, "Made of sonder?" That is, with or without. I was perplexed and I asked what? He finally explained, "With or without mayonnaise." After my arrival in Holland, I had to learn how to speak Dutch. It was not easy because the grammar is very different to English, and some words were difficult to pronounce. I was taught to utter "oh," which means onion, or buurmeisje, meaning the girl next door, with the emphasis on the "oh." Later, I had to understand typical Dutch expressions like "kijken, kijken, niet kopen," which means that the Dutch enjoy window shopping but are too stingy to buy. Outside of the Netherlands, most people are familiar with the expression "go Dutch," meaning pay your own share. In Singapore and now in Holland, I cannot sleep well without clinging to my Dutch wife, bolster. Alas, the most naughty expression is Dutch oven. It is a prank trapping your partner under the blanket after releasing a smelly fart. In conclusion, Christmas is now a very popular international celebration of joy and giving. According to a Carole King song, I like to wake up every morning with a smile on my face and show the whole world all the love in my heart. Thanks to the internet, I can demonstrate this by sending you a personal gift with greetings from Chai and Johan. Now you know why this video is called From Holland with Love. During our lockdown, I wrote a book with the intention of producing a video about comfort women in the Second World War during the Japanese occupation of Singapore. Comfort Girl in Ivory Tower is a tragic love affair between a 17-year-old daughter of a Singapore tycoon and a Japanese general. You can receive your gift via the link below. My next video will be from Thailand and Laos. If you had enjoyed this video, please click on the like button and subscribe. Or buy me your coffee. Before I say ta-ta for now, I would like to wish you good health and happiness for 2023. And glory to Ukraine. Here is Jimmy Chai signing off. Tot Sins. See you again.